Good morning, class, and welcome back to episode 58 of the Nerd Academy Podcast. I am your host and superior web headmaster, Jarod Bachman-Stubbs, and on the show today, we have your resident Green Lantern. I want to say your new Twitter handle and forgot the number, and your favorite Themysciran princess, Alexis Capel.
Thank you.
It's required every show. Even though I've been forgetting the past couple weeks.
Hey, you know what?
I felt like I was front row seat in SeaWorld just now. I got some spray back on me.
They swim in orange soda at SeaWorld?
Yes.
Hell yeah, let's go to SeaWorld.
I mean,
free the whales.
Yeah, we'll free them. Like we'll free them and then take all the orange soda with us.
Okay.
We keep adding on to like the saga of Alexis just freeing animals all the time, just either befriending or freeing. What did I see? I saw a meme like earlier today, and I forgot to send it to you, but it was something funny about befriending an animal that is very dangerous, but like reaching to pet it anyway. And I was like, "Yep, there we go." Anyway, even though we have 2 trailers and award shows to talk about. Surprisingly light week. So we're going to jump right into our first story here. We got a trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yes, snaps all around. My hands are too cold to actually snap.
Yes, they.
We're going to hand fart for Falcon and the Winter Soldier? That's a thing?
He started it. He tried, and then he couldn't do it, so I had to show him.
Not because I think it's bad.
Because Bucky can't do it.
Don't underestimate him.
I'm sure he has like really nice snaps though with that metal hand.
Really clinky snaps.
Really clinky. They
okay,
ring.
Let's move it on.
Travis,
like that.
Thoughts on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer?
I like it. I want more of it.
Well, we're very close to the whole show, so
yeah. They did the Marvel trailer thing of, hey, we're making a thing, and that's all you know. Have fun.
Yeah. With how well now, granted, you and I bowed out of the WandaVision marketing very early.
Definitely on purpose. I definitely knew about all the trailers and purposely didn't watch them. That's what happened.
You got like an emo Peter Parker thing going on. It looks like you're about to like now take on this. Anyway,
I watched it.
You watched it? What'd you think of it, Alexis?
It looks like a Marvel movie. But you know, I'll watch it. It looked cool, and I laughed at the staring contest thing. I thought that was cute.
If this whole show is going to be the buddy cop adventures of Bucky and Sam, where they have the chemistry they've had in the other movies,
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
100%. I going into this again, I was expecting like Falcon and the Winter Soldier like being some Jason Bourne type stuff, and being less buddy cop. But seeing the trailer, this just feels like somebody plucked the Falcon and the Winter Soldier out and put them into a lethal weapon.
Marvel.
Yeah. That's the Marvel vibe of it being, kind of fun and silly. But like, I was not expecting this much of a buddy cop vibe. I was expecting something tonally to feel more like Captain America Winter Soldier. To feel more political thriller, spy thriller than it is buddy cop action flick. And I am so glad it's a buddy cop action flick with
at the rate WandaVision's going, they're both gonna like have armor, but like Iron Man armor by the end of it. And it's actually gonna be starring Hulk. And that's all gonna happen by episode 3. They just haven't shown any of the clip yet.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like really weird shit happening, I was looking at some frame by frame stuff and some trailer breakdowns. Whenever they're inside of that one club, there's like that wall with like the skulls on it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Skrull skulls. Like the way they're shaped and colored, it looks like those all belong to Skrulls. So it kind of feels like we're building towards some like more Secret Invasion type stuff, which makes sense because we know basically we're getting
that show
with the
What
next
Skrulls?
Skrulls.
Skrulls.
The shapeshifters from Captain Captain Marvel too.
Not Captain Marvel too, just Captain Marvel.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I
only
didn't even realize what I
got very confused. But yeah, the green guys from
Anyway.
Marvel.
These guys.
Oh yes, the people that look like they remind me of that movie that Will Smith was in. What was that one about the fairy tale creatures? I don't know why they remind me of that.
Will Smith fairy tale creatures.
The one, it's like buddy cop as well. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and I can't remember the movie.
Will Smith vamp. I'm googling this.
He's
also
already
Googling
Googled.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to find it. Oh yes, Aladdin.
Yes.
Suicide Squad.
Come on. What is it, Jarod?
Okay, I stopped because I didn't know. Okay.
Shark Tale?
No, it was on Netflix or something. It was very new. It was like a couple years ago.
Oh,
Bright.
Bright. Yes.
Oh, I completely suppressed that from my memory. Oh, that horrible movie.
I don't know why it gives me Bright vibes. Like,
no, because they
not
definitely
in a bad. I'm not saying they're bad, but it just for some reason it clicks together for me. I don't know.
The Skrulls definitely kind of look like the orcs in Bright, though.
Yeah.
Like there is kind of like a
orc.
Yes. So yeah, there's like the weird orc skulls. Jesus Christ. Skrull skulls. You thought that would have been the one that I messed up. So I like that. I like the whole vibe that they have so far. I really enjoy kind of like the weird callback to the first Avengers movie with like we need a plan, and then Sam just hops out of the plane. It's kind of reminiscent of the whole I have a plan, attack.
Well, I think it's supposed to be the opening of Captain America 2.
Oh yeah, the whole does he have a parachute? No, he did not.
Yeah,
that's that. You're probably more correct on that one.
The difference is Sam can fly, so he doesn't need one.
Yeah, he's not like Steve who has to like aim the shield straight down. Also, based off of some of the footage we see of like people in like their dress blues with all like the military like stuff on the burst of their suit, that plus some set photos we saw, I think what we're seeing in that scene might be U.S. agent becoming U.S. agent. Because that's whenever the guy, I can't remember who's supposed to be playing him, but we see him in his dress blues with his arm in a sling.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those scenes are happening concurrently because we also see Sam holding the shield, also dressed up, but not in like a military formal getup. So as Cap's sidekick, he might be the one passing the torch before he's like on a federal level recognized as Captain America. And we're moving towards that. Obviously, we've talked about it before. There was that toy leak of the new Sam Cap suit. So we're definitely going to see.
I still haven't seen it.
Yes. The one person who does not give a shit about spoilers is the one who hasn't laid their eyes on it yet. I don't think I sent it to you, Lexus, did I?
I don't. What were you talking about?
Uh,
I blanked for a second.
Sam's Captain America suit that he'll get at the end.
Oh no, I did not.
I think like everybody assumed we'd see him in it. It was just a matter of when.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a new Marvel fake Marvel location. I'm trying to find the name of it.
It's black and white.
Or noir. A minty noir.
Yeah.
Mad Rapport. That like purple neon lit city is another, like Wakanda and whatnot is another fake Marvel city, but an important one in the comics. One that has seen that's been the base of operations for the Hand. So you got a little bit of Hell's Kitchen side of Marvel connection there. Also, that's like the mystical side of the X-Men stuff up there. So mystical X-Men stuff. Who knows if that ties into WandaVision at all? We shall see. But I very much like the trailer. I like Bucky and Sam being in couples counseling a lot. There's a part of me that wants the present day of the show to be them in couples counseling, and the whole story's being told after the fact. Kind of like
I think that'll be an episode. I don't think it'll be the whole show. I think we'll get an episode of that.
I hope.
Just like, so where did this mission go wrong? And them telling their sides of it. And
I think you're right on that one. That'd probably be the first episode, and that'll probably be him just jumping out of the airplane.
mm-hmm.
Another fun little thing. So we see that Zemo's out and back at large. Now that we've seen the civilian side of the Hulk snap and unblipping everybody, what do you think the dimes to donuts are that Zemo's back at large because of the snap? Either like the people around him were dusted and he was able to sneak out, or he got dusted and because he's not accounted for anymore, he can just kind of get back to business.
I would give it a chocolate cake donut. Because look, dimes to donuts is a weird saying. I don't know how to respond to it, so I'm just going to start saying random donuts.
Jelly glaze.
He got dusted and came back.
I like that too, because I think that explains why he's like kind of seeming more radical with it now.
He's like, I died and came back. I ain't doing that again.
Well, that or that, like he kind of like sees it as like, oh, it's my new lease on life. I'm going to kill the Avengers again. I kind of like that idea, and I also it seems like he might be in league with the Flag Smashers, which is fun. So yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. As a surprise to nobody, we will be covering this weekly, like we are with WandaVision. And I think it's going to pick up right after we're done with WandaVision anyway. So
pretty much. Yeah.
We're never going to have an excuse to do a topic episode again.
Not at the rate Disney Plus is going, man.
No. Knights is the only one that can like maybe squeeze by because there's only one Star Wars show this year. No, that's a lie. Bad Batch. There's going to be 2. Son of a bitch. Okay. Anyway, Travis.
Yeah.
You watch the CW?
I've cut back. I've gone into CW rehab. I didn't finish anything from last season. Okay, that's a lie. I finished Arrow
rehab
because it was like literally all that was left was the last 2 or 3 episodes. So the show ended. And I watched that. And then nothing else because I didn't care.
Which is fair, which is valid.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of photos and stills from the new season of Batwoman, and the new Batwoman looks incredible. The costume looks really cool. If you're enjoying Batwoman, good for you. I know Black Lightning started up. I only watched the first season. I really liked the first season. I might have watched 2 seasons. I don't remember. and also thought that was very good. Don't care about the newest season. It's also Black Lightning's last season. So that's wrapping up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot this is going to be their time to wrap.
And we finally got a trailer for the only one I'm watching this year, which is Superman and Lois.
Might be the first one I watch in several years because I like this a lot. I want to kick to Lexi first because her reaction upon watching the trailer made me belly laugh.
I wish I would have saved it for being on air because now I'm just kind of like
all the emotion is gone
yeah.
from
it. You're not as exasperated.
What did I say? I was like,
just like you're sick of seeing.
Oh, I'm sick of this story.
People being mad that he's Superman.
I'm just sick of seeing this over and over and over again. You know, like I love Superman. Ever since I was a kid, he was always my favorite. But like, I get it. I know. I understand. But I mean, that's what sells, and that's the interesting part is him becoming Superman and people being mad, but like needing him and Lois and yada yada. But it just feels like there's constant, and I don't know if this necessarily is a reboot or not, but it's like constantly being regurgitated. And
so this Superman hasn't had his own show yet.
The Snyder. That's how he likes to portray Superman.
This Superman hasn't had his own show yet. He's from Supergirl, and it's kind of just implied he's already done all of the the lead-in stuff. But now the universe has been rebooted, so he has after the crossover last year, he gets surprised by the fact that he has 2 teenage sons. So
I know nothing about CW stuff because I really don't care, and I don't think it's that good.
Oh no, it's trash. It's so bad, and I love it so much.
Nothing is compelling to me on the CW.
I enjoy the first 2 seasons of Arrow and the first couple seasons of Flash, and the rest of it I basically watched as a how bad can they make this?
I don't know what else they could do. You know, I feel like I'm asking for a lot with the Superman stuff, but I don't know. I know this story kind of, and I mean, I love Superman. So if you like it, I'll watch it. But
I think the premiere is next week or 2 weeks from now.
That sounds right.
I want to say the 23rd. Hold on.
Well,
CW stuff is always so edgy.
It's gotten a lot better in the past few years.
And I will say, and this is rare that you're going to hear me openly defend the CW.
Well, it's gotten better about being edgy. I'll say that.
Yeah. I watched the first 2.5 seasons of The Flash. Really good, really wholesome. The Flash, at least in the first couple seasons that I watched, did not dip into the edgy horse shit. There was the annoying love triangles, and it felt like a CW show, but it wasn't. It wasn't Riverdale or the first 2 seasons of Arrow.
And I liked Riverdale.
Yeah,
I liked Riverdale. I'm not caught up because a lot of people. I mean, now it doesn't matter, but at the time, people spoiled seasons for me, and then it got kind of I saw this thing on TikTok talking about one of the recent episodes or season of Riverdale, and I don't know what the context is. I don't know what's happening. Archie is I don't know. It looked like he was in a jail yard talking to these other guys or something like that. I don't know, but he's well, the one guy's he didn't have experience in high school or something like that. And he's well, you never experienced high school football. And I was that's Embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
I just saw the same thing on TikTok because the guy he's arguing with is like, he's like, I dropped out in the 4th grade to sell drugs to support my
Yes,
nana.
that's it. That's
Verbatim.
it.
And Archie looks at him and goes, well, you've never experienced the epic highs and epic lows of high school football, my friend. And I was like, whoa, someone got paid to write this. Someone got paid to write this. Like,
and they know they robbed the CW of all their money.
They laughed on the way to the bank.
So Superman and Lois premieres in 2 Tuesdays from now.
Sweet.
So it will come out just in time for us to not review it the week it comes out. It's perfect timing.
Yeah. I think that's in the same time frame as the Golden Globes too. So like we'll see what ends up happening with that. Alexis, I do agree with you that thanks to Zack Snyder and thanks to the way the DCEU shook out, I'm kind of spent on, do I have to be Superman stories? That said, the thing that kind of gives Superman and Lois a pass for me is that this feels like we're going to get the outcome Superman's supposed to reach with this kind of story, where instead of Clark looking inside himself and going, no, not only do I have a duty to be Superman, I want to be Superman. I want to protect people. We won't get the Zack Snyder DCEU version that's more like, I want to protect you with Lois. And that while Lois is Superman's favorite person, he's just as much from Earth as he is from Krypton, if not more so a man of Earth. And granted, that comes into like different interpretations of Superman and how, some people like it being, a man on the outside, man on the inside, a little bit of both. I like him kind of having that 50-50 split where he spent enough of his life as Clark Kent that by the time he learned about also being Kal-El, that he was able to grow both of those identities kind of next to each other.
Why do you say things differently every time?
What? I didn't even say it different.
Kal-El.
Kal-El. Better call El Sol.
I'll watch that legal drama.
So I think the other thing with this one is that it's kind of going in reverse. At least that's the vibe I got from the trailer, where it's not Clark Kent asking if he needs to be Superman. It's Superman asking if he really needs to be Clark Kent.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which is different, but also, dude, you got kids, man. Take care of your kids.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to seeing the CW and DC Universe / HBO Max all have a version of Superboy going, because that's 10 out of 10 where this is going.
I guess one of the boys.
No way we don't get Superboy. And I don't know if
it's weird that there's 2 of them. It's weird that they have twins. I think they're twins.
I think this is the reason they're going to do the twins is so that we can get jeans and a t-shirt Superboy and the Super Sons looking outfit.
Of course.
And we can get both at the same time so they can double dip on whichever version of Superboy they want to do. I'm not complaining in either direction. It is a bit of a cop-out. But yeah, that's why I'm okay with it. I like these. I feel like the conclusion he's going to reach is I need to be both, and I need to set an example for them because it's going to be their turn eventually because they're my kids. Like they're going to end up being a god too.
One becomes an accountant and the other one goes to art school.
And neither of them ever get access to their powers.
Yeah, the powers never activate. But yeah, I'm legitimately excited for this. This is the first time the CW has piqued my interest. The closest they came the last time was whenever they went, yes, Matt Ryan's John Constantine will be on Legends of Tomorrow. But at that point, like I did not have the mental and like fortitude and time to commit to 3 seasons of Legends of Tomorrow just to see Constantine.
That reminds me, CW announced some of the shows that are getting re-upped for a new season next year.
Okay.
Only one. I mean, so the new Walker reboot already is on for season 2, and I think it's just because they want to keep Jared Padalecki on the payroll.
I just want to know who that's for. I just really badly.
I guess me, because I haven't watched it yet, but I remember as a kid, I knew nothing about what was going on, but I loved Walker, Texas Ranger.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, I that's all I remember about it is that it's kind of like Digimon.
Fucking little. What? Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, but I was like a toddler.
What?
You're like me with the Drew Carey show. I had no idea what was going on, but I loved the Drew Carey show.
Like, at the time, I was like, oh, Cop Man and Sidekick Cop Man go fight crime in Texas. And now I'm like, I don't even remember anything about that show. I don't, other than the fact that it had Chuck Norris.
I remember the reruns being on, but I didn't quite pay any attention to it.
I kind of want to watch.
It aired.
I want to try the new one. A, because I like Jared Padalecki. And B, just to see, like, how bad it is. Or if it's good. I don't know. I haven't watched a CW show in like a year.
I think there's something really funny about the idea that Cop Does Kicks is like the predecessor to Dick Does Flips.
Dick Does Flips.
Remember when Chuck Norris was just like the meme? I remember it being a big meme and when we were in like 6th grade.
Yeah. I don't think he's more of an eternal meme but you have to be in 6th grade for it to be funny. And then once you pass through that, it's not funny anymore.
I just have a weird memory of everybody talking about Chuck Norris.
Yeah. I think it still happens.
There's no way 6th graders today are talking about Chuck Norris.
Yes.
Let's go pull some 6th graders. Just be like, hey, you know who Chuck Norris is? And they'd be like, no, but I know that when he does a push-up, it pushes the earth out of rotation.
Yes!
And that's
all they know.
There is a child of that age that has like internet culture deep lore knowledge like that. The kids are all right. Like the generation to succeed us is going to be okay if they have like.
I can't even remember. I keep trying to think of an example of what people used to say. I can't remember.
Chuck Norris died 5 years ago, but the Grim Reaper doesn't want to tell him. There's the push-up joke that Travis just told.
No, but were those recent or those?
No, those are all from when we were young.
I remember a different one because I don't remember those.
There's so many. There's like
there was one that
walks on water.
Bryce used to say all the time.
But anyway, Walker got upped for season 2, even though it's only been going for like 3 episodes, which again is just them wanting to keep Jared on the payroll. The stuff that we would cover: Flash, Legends of Tomorrow somehow.
It just won't die. That show,
Batwoman,
at home back in the day, and Batwoman and Alexis. Legends of Tomorrow was supposed to be an 8-episode miniseries meant to be like the jumping off point for the first really big DC CW crossover, and is somehow in like its 5th or 6th season.
Something like that. Well, because they had so many people on the payroll and so many characters they didn't know what to do with. They were like, let's just put a bunch of them in their own show and just ship them out this way to like not bog down these other shows as much and keep them here with us.
It's just the sheer amount that they'd introduce on one of the main shows to just, okay, Legends of Tomorrow with you. Like, didn't they did that with like Vixen and Constantine, I know.
Well, Constantine showed up in an episode of Arrow and then stayed on for Legends.
Is he resurrected?
Vixen,
who did he resurrected one of the Lances, right?
Yeah. Sarah, the one they made up for Arrow.
Oh yeah, okay.
Is like the leader now. Adam, the Hawks. Wally West was in there for a while. He was there for like a season because they were just like, hey, we can't put you into this Flash season. We don't have enough space. So go have your character arc on DC Legends of Tomorrow and come back and be a different character entirely.
Cool.
So yeah, Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, and Batwoman are now kind of becoming like the core for the CW, I guess. Which is fine. I'm surprised Superman and Lois didn't get re-upped, but that it's not set in stone. It could be later. It just depends on how the show does.
Moving on to another little piece of news here that excites me. Well, first of all, we have a full different title for Blade, which apparently is being called Blade the Vampire Slayer.
Maybe he teams up with Abraham Lincoln
and Buffy. And I'm looking forward to like taking the art style of Buffy and slapping it onto Blade stuff. I'm looking forward to that because that'll be an easy thing to do for a lot of nerd artists. But it has its screenwriter, Stacey Osi Kofor, who was one of the lead writers on HBO's Watchmen. So very exciting stuff. Obviously, last award season, Watchmen was drowning in nominations and wins. It's probably one of my favorite comic book TV shows of recent time. Really good.
I have access to it now, and I still haven't watched it, and I probably won't for a long time.
Whenever you get around to it and the spirit moves you, this show, my God, is so good. It is a sequel to the comic book, not the Zack Snyder movie. I went in thinking it was a sequel to the Snyder movie and made myself rewatch the Snyder movie for no goddamn reason.
I'm so sorry.
I spent 2 hours watching Snyder's Watchmen, needing a very stiff drink, but knowing that I had to recall the movie to watch the show. So yeah, fun stuff there. I didn't want to talk about this, but it got to the point where it was too big not to talk about. Allegedly, Sony's offering Kraven the Hunter up to Keanu Reeves for the Kraven the Hunter movie that's in the works.
Keanu is also up for any role of a character with long black hair and a beard.
Not even that. It's just characters who are
He's playing me right now. Jarod, I'm actually Keanu Reeves.
Whoa!
You're fucking
meme from Cyberpunk thing that has now isn't good because Cyberpunk isn't good, but Keanu meme.
I had to bleach my hair to stop Keanu from taking me over. That's the only reason I was able to escape him. I'm fed up with Keanu Reeves fan casting. I don't dislike Keanu at all. I think he's a fine actor. I love John Wick just as much as anybody. I'm excited for The Matrix 4. Stop. Just stop. It's everyone. It's Moon Knight. It's Revan. It's Kraven. I see him thrown around for like Batman and members of the Bat family. Keanu does not have to play every random badass. I see him tossed in for Wolverine. Stop. Just stop. Like, I hope he ends up in something, and I hope it's something that nobody ever would have pegged him for. And if it's Kraven the Hunter, at least they can take his name out of the hat finally. And we'll stop seeing it all the time. But I don't like him for Kraven. I don't. I've seen a lot of people. I just lost his name. Javier Bardem. I've seen his name thrown around a lot for Kraven. I like that a lot better.
I don't know who Kraven is.
He's a Sinister Six member.
I don't really know much about the Sinister Six.
That's fair.
He's a guy with a giant lion head vest.
Anyway, I'll look it up after. But
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of just indifferent about this. I mean, like, I'm on the same boat with you of like, please just stop fan casting Keanu Reeves and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if he gets Kraven the Hunter, he gets Kraven the Hunter, and I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, he'll be good for the action stuff with Kraven. I mean, we still need to get through Morbius to see just how insane these Sony Spider-Man villain movies are going to be. Because if Venom was anything to go off of.
I keep forgetting Morbius exists.
Mm-hmm. That's the vampire one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Starring Jared Leto, who said that playing Morbius was really hard because it reminded him too much of himself.
Thank you for bringing that up because I forgot to put that in the notes last week.
Which it only makes sense that Jared Leto is actually a vampire in real life.
A vampire biochemist adventurer.
I'm going with just vampire.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think Leto thinks of himself as so much of a Renaissance man that he's like all the other shit that's on Michael Morbius's resume. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Last quickie story here. We got the Golden Globe nominations. So just going to speed run some of these. For best performance by an actor in musical or comedy. I honestly don't have the time to run through all of these. It's basically all the shit from award season last year because the world froze. I'm trying to see if there are any standouts to
Chadwick Boseman got one for his last movie. That's the only one I think that's really notable.
I saw that. Even though this is the wrong show, I feel it necessary to bring up here. The Mandalorian is nominated for Best Television Drama. And this would be season 2. So this is like this isn't just riding the hype of first show on Disney Plus and look at the visual effects. This is brass tacks with Mando. I don't think there's any other performances here. Like you said, Chadwick is nominated for his final role. I'm trying to get to it so I can find the name of it again. Borat's nominated for comedy, which makes me happy. Musical or comedy. So subsequent movie film is coming back. Subsequent movie film was so good. Hamilton is also nominated for musical or comedy in the motion picture category, which I think is interesting. Even though it's not out yet, it will be out soon. Judas and the Black Messiah is nominated quite a bit here, which excites me. Best actor picture.
Chadwick has been nominated for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which was, as far as I'm aware, his last live action role before passing away. Yeah.
The only other thing left, I think, is What If.
Yeah, I think
his voice to the Star-Lord.
Yeah,
Panther. Lin-Manuel Miranda is also nominated again for Best Actor, Musical or Comedy. Onward and Soul are all nominated for Best Animated Picture. I just got to the Chadwick thing. So, yeah, lots of cool stuff. Best Original Score, Tenet. So, whenever the ceremony happens, we'll do a quickie run-through on who all won and where. Not a whole lot of time to do that on this one, but yeah, stay tuned for that. With that, it's a fun part. WandaVision talk. Holy shit balls. Let's go.
WandaVision, dead. Pietro, dead. Pietro.
Dead. Sparky. Sorry.
Aw.
I know. I had to be the one. I had to be the one to do it before either of you did it. Made me sad. So
that's fair. I wasn't gonna make fun of the dead dog.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make a joke.
Pietro was the dog.
Didn't see that one coming. Travis, thoughts on this episode of WandaVision?
This is probably my favorite episode so far.
Agreed.
Like by a wide margin. All the little things in the acting were just superb. And one of my coworkers very graciously didn't tell me that this is the episode Evan Peters showed up in, because I mentioned that like we knew that he was going to be in the show at some point, and I hadn't watched the episode yet, and they were just like, Oh yeah, that sounds really neat.
Good for them. I think that's the last real piece of WandaVision news we covered before you and I. I kind of
Was
went.
the
Okay,
leak? Was
we're
the leak
done.
about the? Did we cover it? I don't even think we covered it. I think we chose
brought
not
it up.
to.
Because we said like it was still a rumor at the time. So we were like, okay, maybe Evan Peters is in WandaVision. Here's why it could make sense. Something multiverse. Something X-Men.
Well, no, it was a merch leak.
It was on I don't remember like the context.
Yeah,
of it.
that's why I can't remember if we actually covered it or not because it was a leak, and because I didn't see it, but I heard about it, and we talked about it, and I think we might have had like a spoiler warning or something. And
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
You and I talked about it.
Yeah, we definitely talked about it. I just don't remember if it was on the show or not. But Wanda's accent. I'll talk about the accent a little later. But Wanda's accent has made me and everyone I've talked to about it chuckle. What else? Paul Bettany, dude. Paul Bettany. Give this man all the awards. He's incredible this episode. I mean, everyone is, but like
that argument scene's incredible. Like those are like whenever I use the phrase like they acted the shit out of a scene, that's exactly what I mean. When I say someone is like acting their ass off, it is that I'm scared Wanda and he's like starts to fly.
Yeah, I can't remember my life. Oh my god, it was so good. And I can kind of like preemptively say I'm more excited and I think I'll enjoy Falcon and the Winter Soldier more, where there's a part of me that thinks that I'll think that this is better. If that makes sense. Like
it's more high concept, and I think that's why. You know, like it's trying to compare kind of like in the same way. It's like how do you compare something like the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man to Endgame? Because they're trying to be very different things. You
and
next to each other.
I don't know. Like I just really enjoyed this episode, and I can get into little things later, but I will pass the talking Batman knife.
Cool. I'm gonna get my batarang off the wall over here.
Oh my gosh, it's so cold. Anyway, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess
absolutely.
since you passed me the knife. Wow. Like, wow. I've said this before, and I said this on Girls with Sabers. I just have so much more appreciation for Wanda and Vision now because of the show. And this episode was pretty great. I was creeped out. When did I got creeped out when Agnes was like,
do you want me to take that again?
You want me to take that again? I got so creeped out, and I wanted her to get away from those children so bad. Like I never wanted to fly through the screen so fast. Paul Bettany.
Paul Feathermuckin Bettany.
Paul Bettany. Wanda. She, as much as I feel for her, she was making me mad. I was getting irritated with her. Like, I was getting really irritated. And, like, again, I get it. I understand PTSD and all these other psychological issues that's probably going on with her right now. But, like, girl, this is wrong. And Norm? Was that his name?
Yeah, Norm.
Norm? That actor? Good for him. That was really
give him more work, Disney. I don't care
he
what
was
you
like,
put him in.
100%.
It's just the switch between like him in the show and then him like I gotta call my sister. Like I teared up a little bit because these people are so scared.
Dude had 30 seconds.
Not being a hero right now, and she's being very selfish, which I understand, but like my God. And the dog, the poor doggy, I was very upset about. And The kids were cute. They creeped me out when they aged up.
The creepy part for me wasn't them aging. It was them knowingly looking at each other and going, hey,
Let's do it.
let's...
Ew. What else? There was another part I wanted to talk about. Oh my. I really like that Vision is catching on. I really love that. And she's like, she's gonna find out very quick that what she's doing isn't, it's not gonna work and it's not gonna last. And I can't wait till it implodes. And so if he like tries to come out of the hex, is he gonna walk through it and then just be a corpse? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Like he's just gonna drop.
I don't know about drop dead, because here's the thing. Now that we know for certain, they're physically, the Vision is inside of the hex. We're calling it the hex, not like they did the show, but like the Vision is physically in there. I think if he walks through, we get comic book like ghastly white Vision.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be what Wanda is saw in that little cut where it's the gray with the piece missing. Because I think it's still his body, but like
she's just really puppeting.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen by the end of the show, because they've said that like she's reforming matter, but like the properties of the matter aren't changing. So like by the end of it, he might like just be reformed into regular Vision again.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the idea being kicked around that like the big ploy here might be an attempt to recreate the Mind Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really scary. Like not even as like oh, I don't like them undoing anything type thing, but just the knowledge that the Infinity Stones might be coming back onto the board just terrifies me. Because it feels like you're begging for a Thanos resurrection, and like not even in like a I don't like that idea kind of way. I just never want to see that bastard come anywhere near these characters again.
I think because like I agree that could be a route they're taking. Because I literally thought of it as I was talking about it, and I was like, I'm not going to say it. And then you said it. So I think they can very easily bring Vision back like fully without doing it. Kind of in the same way Jarvis comes back, where like his consciousness exists somewhere because it was created in a cybernetic place. Whether that's through Wanda, whether that's through like the sentience still being in the body and it getting fully brought back to life.
Yeah.
You know,
I also think it's interesting. And here's another thing that like we are in for a horror show whenever we see Vision come out of the hex at some point, because either he's been completely reformed and put back together and we either get creepy looking white ghastly Vision, or he comes back and he's back to being red and green. Or because we see in that security footage, he's in pieces when he's being researched on by Sword. We might get like on top of like eyes glazed over, gash in the head, what's wrong, Wanda, like zombified Vision, that he might be like really terrifyingly stitched together.
Mm-hmm.
And that freaks me out. Like, I am not ready to see that.
Like she Frankenstein monstered him.
Yeah. Which, again, is like another like literary reference thrown into this, massive cocktail. I want to talk about Sparky, because I brought this up on Girls with Sabers, and I want to get into the weeds with this. And I said on there, I am past the point of speculating as to whether or not Agnes is Agatha Harkness. She is.
I think this episode was trying to solidify that.
Yeah, I am like, because the whole speculate responsibly thing. I feel confident enough at being done with saying maybe Agatha Not Agnes, Agatha.
Like, regardless of Mephisto, I think it's
Yeah.
Agatha. Well, it's Agatha.
Yeah. So in Tom King's Vision run, which a lot of this is heavily based off of, because that's where a lot of the like Vision and his weird, synthezoid happy family comes from. In that story, there is a dog that dies that Vision brings back to life. And when it's brought back to life, Vision names it Sparky because he also turns it into like part synthezoid. But the dog died from eating a plant that was lethal to it. That plant was something that it was Agatha Harkness's bushes that he was eating from. And that plant grants the person who consumes it the ability to see into the future. Now,
but isn't it once they've...
Sorry,
like,
continue.
I thought, no, it's all right. I was trying to understand it because I was reading it earlier. Does it grant somebody the ability to see into the future if they died? Or was it like if they've... It was something that they've done before. I forget how
if
it
I'm
goes.
not mistaken, I think it's just that the dog ate a lethal amount.
No, Okay. I'll show you.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, I'm not 100% on some of this stuff because this is stuff I either had a cursory knowledge of, or like was super into what was going on and never physically read it myself. But I do remember the whole like Sparky thing and like tying back to Agatha Harkness. So I think that's definitely at play here. I also, again, there is no way Wanda isn't being controlled at this point. And I love the way that the show goes. Yes, Wanda has been controlling elements here, but she is not in the driver's seat. And the way, and again, that argument and the way that it like kind of starts to collapse and it starts to calm down and the doorbell rings. She's like, that wasn't me. You don't believe me. At this point, I'm ignoring statistics. Aside from that amazing conversation, the way that Wanda is put in her place, according to whomever's controlling this, that they go, you need to sit down because you're not in control. You're making this harder for me. And I also want to know to what degree Agatha or maybe even Mephisto are going along with it. That's my big question, is that I think that argument with Vision maybe started to like make her see clearly, and she starts to kind of freak out a little bit. Like the way that she's like, that wasn't me. She's aware that something is wrong and is openly admitting it. And I think the next steps after that, assuming that the Quicksilver thing doesn't happen, is her going, okay, what is actually going on? We need to fix this now. I think Agatha, Mephisto, whatever, was cool with her running the show because they knew they were 100% down with her, no pun intended, vision for what was happening right now.
And there was no way she was going to like break away at any point. She was locked in. And now that she isn't being locked in, they need to take steps to keep her locked in. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So what do? We send in Quicksilver. What do you think about like the realness of Quicksilver? Either of you? Because I'm on the fence. I think this might be a good way to start the fusing of the multiverses. But I think this is the ploy where like they use the casting of Evan Peters as a trick, and in reality, it's Agatha, Mephisto, whoever, sending in a person to be Quicksilver just as a fill-in. But like it's one of those, it's a meta trick where like we the audience know that this is Fox's Quicksilver, but in the show he's just gonna be a guy who's trying to be Pietro but isn't. Okay. And then after it gets solved, then she's gonna freak out, break everything, and we're gonna see everyone. So here's where I think there might be an argument for this to be the beginning of different universes bleeding into each other, or multiverses, dimensions, whatever, bleeding into each other. This might be why we get J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson in Far From Home. Is that's like the dimensional bleeding effect is happening there, where like that's where the first blood there was Pietro or Peter from the Foxmen stuff becoming Pietro in the MCU. That might be why J.K. Simmons is back. And then eventually lead into Spider-Man, where it's okay, now here's Toby and Andrew and Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx and Willem Dafoe and, Bob's your uncle, whatever. I think you're right. I think you're right. They are baiting the people who are paying close attention because they knew people would start to eat up every little detail and pay attention to every little sentence and nugget. Now the strategy is, how do we really throw everybody off of their game? We make it seem like the thing that everybody's waiting for us to do is happening. So I think that's their play. Also, another little fun Easter egg I loved. I love that Billy and Tommy are wearing the same colors they would wear as Wiccan and Speed.
Mm-hmm.
That they got the red and navy blue and black, and he's in the green. I just like that nugget a little. This makes me happy. Little Easter egg for things to come.
I can't find it. I'm getting really frustrated. I read something that like it had to have been something about being dead before, and I don't remember. I have to try searching again. It's really frustrating me that I can't find it, but I read that.
No, I appreciate that because that gives me more context. And it's like I said, like
something has to be done beforehand before you're able to see into the future, and I can't remember exactly what it is.
That makes sense.
Anyway, those were azalea bushes, by the way.
Thank you. I could not remember.
In real life, those are very lethal to dogs and cats.
So we should eradicate them.
And I knew that prior. I didn't look that up. I knew they were
azaleas. There's no question that was something you knew off the top of your I'm glad you're laughing at the animal joke and not the really bad stutter that came over me for no reason on that one. But I'm just making fun of myself at this point. Any final thoughts on this episode? Because I think Quasar. I think Monica is about to get her. I think she has her powers now. I think that's why her X-ray looks funky.
Yeah,
it's just her whole thing is like energy manipulation. I think that's why her X-ray looks weird and it looks blank. It's not blank. That's just how much radiation she's emitting.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has her powers now.
What was she trying to see with her clothes?
Oh, that's the matter stuff. Because she went in with a bulletproof vest, and the clothes she was wearing got reformed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, did you talk about the accent?
No, I didn't. So the whole thing with her having it outside the hex but not in the hex would work really well if she had consistently had it through the movies. And it's not Elizabeth Olsen.
Yes.
It's not her fault necessarily that it's the one time at the MCU went, we don't really care about the accent, it doesn't matter. Because it's very inconsistent in Age of Ultron. And then she has it in some lines and doesn't.
To me, because I'm trying to create a reason for everything here in the show, I just think that she's trying really hard to remember who she not like she forgot, but to ground herself and remember who she is and where she came from. So she's digging into the accent because I don't know. That's my excuse for it.
I mean, that's fair, and I mean maybe they'll use that as an explanation.
Because she's mentally
fudged
up.
But
I agree.
That was
It would have been a really cool moment for her to go full Sokovia if she was like half Sokovia when we first met her.
The other little thing, like, because the do you want me to do that? Do you want me to take that again? Scenes, right? Like we've had those before, and those are the really obvious, like the simulation's breaking for a minute, and okay, now it's back on track.
Yeah,
but there's so many subtle little moments this episode in particular, where like when she's talking with the kids, and she stutters or she stops for a second to think. And it's the difference of like, you can tell she's trying to come up with the thing to say to keep the simulation running.
Yeah.
That like, there's a beat, not as big of a beat as, do you want me to take that again? But like having to stop the kids from aging a second time, or the talk about why Vision isn't there because he's at work. And then calling out a couple things, and then even when she goes into the real talk with them, there's a pause of like, what do I say? What do I say? What do I say? Got it. Your dad really loves you, and family's forever, and people fight, and it's fine, whatever. Like it takes her a second to realize what she's supposed to say, and it happens over and over again in this episode. I really like that.
I agree. Somewhat tied to that with like the Vision stuff. I also liked his "Here comes Agnes" with exactly the thing that we need right this second. And that was,
I just love that he's catching on.
He's alive. He's 100% back. Like the Vision is back. And I think like that.
Or at least he is while he's in the hex, at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Well, I mean, if the matter is permanent, he might be back.
Well, at that point, it's a matter. It's a matter.
Hell.
We're going home. At that point, it's what is causing his sentience to come, like his consciousness to come back.
Yeah,
and how that's all working, and we're not sure about that yet. And who knows? Maybe they'll do the comic book thing of like, yeah, he's back. We're not going to explain it, because if we explain it, there'll be a loophole somewhere we didn't think of, and it'll be incorrect. But he's back.
Here's how I think that shakes out. I think Wanda's attacking of the sword facility to take his body. I think that was 100% Wanda. No involvement of Mephisto or Agatha at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wanda having like a breakdown, goes nuts, goes after the body, gets it, and is like, okay, what the shit do I do now? It's like the Dark Knight Joker thing. It's like, I'm like a dog chasing a car. Like, okay, what? You caught it. Now what? I think that's the moment Mephisto comes to her. I think that is the moment where he's like, I can bring him back for you. And that but is either he wants the kids like he did in the comic, or it's the Mind Stone, and he wants the Mind Stone. I think it's one of the two, because like that's his whole thing, is like he'll come to the characters who are like having a crisis. It's what he did with Spider-Man to like bring Aunt May back. It was like, okay, you have to give me your marriage, therefore taking your daughter off the board so that I don't have to deal with her later. And also he's just a monster and knows that it'll break Peter's heart. I think that's the kind of situation we're looking at, where Wanda went AWOL and ransacked Sword and took Vision's corpse. And then the magic people got involved and took advantage of the opening she left. That's what I think is happening here. I think that is the deal with the devil that has caused all of this. And
that's what I was thinking too when I saw her go in there. And I asked Travis when it happened, I was like, is that Wanda? Or like, and then you said, yeah.
I think we're all on the same page.
And then
it's definitely her in there. Whether or not, like, I don't think she's being controlled. I think she's doing it genuinely of her own will. It's just a matter of, did Mephisto come to her first and say, hey, if you get me Vision, I can bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll work out the details later.
Yeah,
or is it like you said, where she went in first and then he went, hey, that's a Cute
It's a
little
mighty dead
synthezoid you got
boyfriend you
there.
have there.
Mind if I just sprinkle some life salt on him? I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. I like that version, life salt. But yeah.
I
mean,
want
that's-
that on a t-shirt. Can we do that?
What life salt?
Life salt.
If Mephisto is in the show, I will have the art made of him just like sprinkling salt over Vision's body.
Can we get like life alerts, but instead of a button to call an ambulance, it's just a thing of salt?
It's just a vial of salt.
Just say it's life salt.
Yes. Emergency salt.
All right. With that, Lexi, where can the lovely people find you, my friend?
Thank goodness, because I got a tinkle.
Me too. And then I got to do Around the Galaxy because I told Pete to give me like 15 minutes. That's what happens.
You do this to yourself. Lexi Lion 98, Lexi Lion 98 on Twitter, and Acapella 98 on Instagram.
Yes, indeed. Travis, where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me on Twitter, now not with my Christmas handle, because I finally changed it in February.
It's okay. I still have my Sithmas tree up in my room. I still haven't taken it down.
A black tree with lights, so it doesn't necessarily make it Christmas. So, like,
You can get away with it.
yeah,
It's a very strange shrine to Darth Vader is what it is.
yeah.
Which checks out.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
What was I going to say? The at Travis Political, Twitter and Instagram. It's not Champion of the Christmas Gundam anymore. It's Green Lantern of Sector. I think it's 439. I even looked it up.
I think so.
Is that actually
Which
the
is-
Earth sector in DC, or did you just make
No, it's not even. Earth Sector's like 2186 or something.
Okay.
I made that number up, but I think that might be right actually. I said 439 because that's Goku's address.
I love that.
Yeah, that's it.
Jarod, where?
What? Oh, I straight up.
Dark Jedi 2552.
I thought he just straight froze.
I thought he froze for a second too, but then I caught on real quick because I'm fast like that.
Quick,
That's
like
lightning.
Lightning Lexi. You guys can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com. If you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Thank you to our $10 alumnus, Case and Brion, the Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, and Zach Canals. You guys help us make the content that we love to produce every week. Check out the $5 tier, where you get access to the Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series, our audio commentary tie-ins for Nerd Academy Movie Club, and to the show Travis and I host, Heroic History 101, where we cover older comic book stories. If you would like to support the Nerd Academy even further, you can check out our TeePublic, which is linked as our student school on the website. We can get all manner of Nerd Academy goodies. There's hella stickers to be seen. I'm sitting on the pillow, but I'm like really on it because of the new chair. So I can't get past it, the arms. So imagine the pillow that we've shown you guys 1,000 times. Anyway, thank you all so very much for listening. And class dismissed. Okay, now it's awkward because I can't get to the thing. There we go.